Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to read you another letter written by Maria to her father, and it's really one of my favorites, written by her. You know, she writes a lot of really good letters, but this one's my favorite. And here she describes to her father her visit to a military cemetery in Tsarskoe Selo called the Brethren Cemetery, and just about her misadventures there. And it's really cute and it's really funny. I'd like to read this to you, and I'd like to show you a video of my own visit to the cemetery and what it looks like. I mean, the cemetery no longer exists, but the spot's still there, and you can tell it was a cemetery. And there's a few things that they've reconstructed, but I will show you kind of like the then and now type of thing. And there's even the ditch that Maria talks about in her letter that's still there. So it's pretty interesting. So okay, let me start reading that for you, and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to get my channel noticed and to support my channel. I need your help with that. And alright, well, here we go. 1916, 3rd March. My sweet and dear Papa, yesterday after we saw you off, Tatiana, Anastasia, and I went to the cemetery in a motor. We drove there for an unusually long time because the roads are so bad. We arrived there and went to the officers' graves. There was nothing there yet and too much snow. Then I wanted to visit the graves of our patients from the lower ranks. There was a big pile of snow on the side of the road, so I was able to climb up with great difficulty on my knees and jump down from it. Down there, the snow turned out to be above the knees, and although I was wearing long boots, I was already wet, and I decided to continue ahead. Nearby, I found one grave with the surname Mishenko. This was the name of our patient. I laid down some flowers there and walked ahead, and suddenly I saw the same surname again. I looked up at the board to see which regiment he was from, and it turned out that he was one of our patients too, but not the same one. So I laid down the flowers for him and was just starting to walk away when I fell on my back and was lying there for almost a minute, not knowing how to get up. There was so much snow, and I could not reach the ground with my hand for leverage. I finally got up and walked ahead. Earlier, Tatiana and Anastasia said they were going to go to another cemetery, to Sonia Orbeliani's grave, and that they will return for me. But instead, they sent a man in charge of the graveyard to help me. He crawled over to me with great difficulty, and we went to look for another grave together. We searched and could not understand at all what happened to it. It turned out that it was closer to the fence and that we should have climbed over a ditch. He stood in the ditch and said to me, "I will carry you over." I said no. He said, "Let's try." Of course, he put me down, not on the other side, right in the middle, but right in the middle of the ditch. And so we are both standing in the ditch, up to our bellies in snow, and dying from laughter. It was hard for him to climb out, as the ditch was deep, and for me too. So he climbed out somehow and stretched his hands out to me. Of course, I slid back down into the ditch on my stomach about 3 times, but finally climbed out. And we performed all this with flowers in our hands. Then we couldn't fit through between the crosses for a while, as we were both wearing our coats. But in the end, I did find the grave. Finally, we were able to leave the cemetery. Tatiana and Anastasia were already waiting for me on the road. I felt half dead from heat and dampness. We climbed into the motors and drove away. Yeah, so that's a quite interesting letter, isn't it? And she tells it with such great sense of humor, and she's so descriptive. I just love it. This spot marks the place where the church, the chapel was for the chapel for the wounded from the infirmary. So here they would get buried from here, and so here they would have a service, and the cemetery is right here. In the diaries and letters, the girls mention that their mama would come here a lot, and in fact I think there's a point where the church got consecrated, and she and the girls were at the opening, at the consecration of the church. Unfortunately, again, the Soviets had demolished it, and this little marker was put there about 15 years ago to mark the spot where the church was. I think it was a wooden church. Possibly this is the wood. They used some of the wood from the original. I don't know, but yeah, there you have it. The cemetery is not as big as I thought it would be, but most likely that has to be the ditch. So, and this is what the church looks like.